Hey, Jake's back and he's got his own show. He's on the mic and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good afternoon, everybody! Welcome to Mark and the Mad Frog. Good morning, Bakers. Happy Monday to you and yours. Man, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I hope you all had a good weekend. Y'all smell good tonight. I got the chat popped. I actually have it popped, but I can't find it because I'm kind of a boomer. I think I hit it on that screen. That's okay, chat. I'll come back to you, I promise. Guys, we got a special opening today. We're going to talk some baseball, some playoffs, NBA playoffs, hockey playoffs, BBD's hockey. Looks like Boston's playing the Capitals. I saw that on a TV this weekend. So that's, and that was hockey. BBD, we've got a little bit of a treat for the Waking Jakers, the Bakers. Bug Dude in the morning. You guys know, most of you know about Jakey Burns. I've done a couple on here. Started in Yankees lore, bring them over, kind of making it a game of the night type deal. We do it a game of the night on Waking Jake. And Poppy's got a burn for it. So I think we're just going to do it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the game of the night. BBD, if you want to set the tone, Big Daddy.
Well, Jake, got the button ready. Okay. On your mark. Get set. Burn.
Crank the Augustana. I think I'll go to Boston. The Red Sox are going for a sweep of formerly Albert Pujols' Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Jose Canseco Quintana tries to juice up a win versus nasty Nate Dogg Eovaldi as he makes it regulate on the rubber for the Sox. Top two, Taylor Psych Ward drives Eovaldi crazy with an RBI single. Phil Gosselin, kind of an accountant's name, sorry Phil, but you can count on an RBI double. Drew Bute, friend of the family, Drew Butera, incredible hair. And it's 4-0 Halos after two, but these Red Sox are built different this year. They are oozing with confidence as Jonathan hits an RBI double. Kevin James Plawecki has grown up with a solo shot of his own. Sweet Raphael, 3-run bomb. Good times seem so good as the Sox take a 5-4 lead. Matt Barnes comes in for the save, but he is not noble. Trout singles and Shohei, oh hey, Ohtani is bay. Ohtani winds one and grinds one around pesky pole. Boston crowd is shocked as Mike Myers murders the save. Angels steal one from the Red Sox. 6-5 final. Ooh, boy. I feel the vibrations of the racetrack coming through my body. I get you with any of that, BBD?
Oh, snap. That was lit.
Felt lit. I'll be honest with you, that felt lit.
Oozing with confidence.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I hadn't seen Jonathan Ariuz's name in a while, and I was excited I did.
Yeah. Yanks haven't played the Red Sox yet, which is a big part of that, I guess.
That is nuts, man.
I feel like the last few years, they've either gotten done with them early or didn't get to see them at all till late. They've been weird with Yanks Sox lately.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing where I'm getting excited for Yankees Red Sox. That's not a weird thing. That's a pretty normal thing.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks
Maybe
from now?
the most normal. Yeah, it's I think June 1, June 2nd, June 8th.
I think it's the weekend before the Minnesota series. So it's June 4, 5, 6.
Okay, something like that. Yeah, man, it's a kind of a bummer they haven't played with, but at the same time, MLB has it figured out a little bit. Like, especially these Boston and Yankee games look like they're going to matter, at least for through the summer.
Yeah.
You know, even if the Red Sox wheels fell off to the umpteenth degree.
Or the Yanks.
Or the Yanks. Not the Yanks. They're studs. They got the horses in the back. Friday, June 4th is the first Yankees-Red Sox game. It's in New York. Like, I think I'm finna to go. Did I use that right? I shouldn't have said
think so.
to go. I'm finna go.
Yes.
I never got that one. That was one of the first ones where I was like, I'm out of the loop. It's like, gonna? And then
Kinda.
gonna started auto-correcting to finna. So then I started using it. Oozing it. So that was a fun game yesterday. Sure. Did it jump out because the Red Sox lost? Maybe. Also, Ohtani's incredible.
He's just like,
Did you
must watch.
Did you see, I'm sure you did, BBD, but, you know, for the show. Did you see his home run over the monster?
I actually didn't.
I retweeted it. BBD, it looks like Ohtani hits a blooper to shortstop.
Just keep going.
Like, not a joke. The first time I watched it, I thought Ohtani hit a blooper to short that was either going to be caught by the shortstop or the left fielder, and it was over the monster.
Jeez.
The dude's a freak show. The dude's an absolute freak show. I couldn't figure out the, what is the Ole Ole song? Ole, 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 ole. Like, you've heard that.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't really know what that's from. Is that just a song? Feeling hot, hot, hot.
That's
Yeah.
probably the searchable word.
Yeah. That's it. That's a fire song. Literally fire song. All right, chat. I'm back. I see Normal
Five
Dog.
Merry Men.
I see Fayao, Al Serena, Connor, Jennifer Lopez, 4 kids, Legolas Lizard. Guys, hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a solid weekend. Went to Central Park for a little bit. Park was nice. Watched some Yankees. We just ripped a fire weekly dumb. You guys are going to love that. My boxers are wet. So, you like that? Do you like that? Trevor Plouffe texting right now asking if he has the NL. I don't think he does. I think I have the NL.
I think he's at AL, though, right?
I'll text him. I think I'm NL. I think he batted leadoff last show. Anyways, guys.
Oh, yeah, he just kind of flicks that.
Yeah, the Ohtani homer, man. I mean, it shouldn't shock us anymore. But, man.
Here we are.
I mean, it's over the monster. It's a home run. Like if
It's not like right down the line over the monster. Like you still
No,
gotta,
it's like the
you still
meat.
gotta like hit that.
it's the meat of the monster. Oh, been there. Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Halos, so I'll give them their sugar there. And the Angels still did try to blow it to a degree. Red Sox still doing their thing. I guess they haven't been hot as their hot start. I know that sounds dumb. But, I mean, they were...
At the same time, they got off that hot start. The Yankees have gone
Right.
had one of the best records over a month, and they're still multiple games back. I don't know where the standings landed.
Interesting little road trip coming up for the Sox. They're going to Toronto, who's been playing well. And then they're going to your Philadelphia Phillies, BBD. Nola, Anderson, and Wheeler. So they're supposed to
But
get...
6 of those guys are tough outs.
All right. Phil Mayton, homer. Matan.
Nick, 2 homers.
Nick Mayton. Hate the Phillies. I don't, but
Oh, I don't like 2/3 of their position groups.
driven me up a wall. We'll talk some baseball. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball. Actually, let's, what are the big boxes? We can't do like a full around the league like we've been doing because the NBA playoffs are set, and I'm excited to go through it because I haven't fully dove in. All of us.
I think I finally understand the play-in tournament
I
thing.
think it's so simple.
Yeah. I
think
NBA.com put out has their graphic on the thing, and now it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense.
It's the perfect example of like how
Just nobody
just
like said it
dumb
to me.
people are. Yeah, and it's know what this is? I think this NBA playoff format is the perfect example of seeing something instead of like teaching it. Like doing instead of learning. Cuz all year I was like shook. I was like, "Oh my god. I'm not even supposed to be here." And then it comes out and you're just like, oh, so the higher seed, they just have to win one game.
It was the
Lower
two
seeds
high
gotta
seeds
win
playing
two.
each other that like completely messed with my brain. It's like, oh. Like if you're in that, you just got to win one.
Pretty
And I
wild.
knew that, but I thought it was like the Japanese style of like the wild card tournament, where it's like, oh, like they play each other, got to beat each other twice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, then why are the
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's-
I guess my follow-up question is that the same as what they did last year, and we can do that conversation.
Nobody
later.
knows. Last year
idea.
didn't exist,
No.
if we're being completely honest. Last year did not exist, if we're being completely honest. Let's see. MLB big headlines. Corey Seager fractured his hand, got hit by a pitch. They said he doesn't need surgery. Optimistic to let it heal. Let's see if they gave a timeline. He's in a splint. Timeline is pretty vague. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Albert
That's-
Pujols season.
That'll happen.
Be hilarious.
Their list of IL guys is getting extensive.
Well, that's where JOMBOY, you guys might know him as JOMBOY on the internet, Jimmy O'Brien, who's a friend of mine. He said Buster on the broadcast yesterday was like, oh, man, like this season for the Dodgers won't be easy as we thought. Like their depth, isn't what you think it is. And it's like, well, maybe their depth is, but maybe Edwin Rios is out for the year. Corey Seager just fractured his hand. Cody Bellinger has a hairline fracture in his leg. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it just kind of snuck by.
Like
Everybody.
I knew he wasn't playing, but he win MVP.
He won MVP the last full baseball season.
How many guys, if they were missing an MVP, would their team be doing worse? All of them. AJ Pollock, friend, like really good baseball player. He's out. I mean,
it's got some guys that have had injury stuff before, and it's also like, I don't know, like 5 deep playoff runs in a row kind of can catch up to you.
Sure.
But last year's weird for everybody.
But like if there was, if I told you in a certain game the Dodgers top 4 in their lineup was Cody Bellinger, AJ Pollock, Corey Seager, and Edwin Rios, you'd be like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I guess Mookie's sitting, but
He was sitting.
was
someone's
Turner
out for
after
that to
like,
happen, but-
yeah, like that's not insane. Like, that's 4 guys that could be the top of your lineup. And then at the same
Rios is
time,
pushing a little, but yeah.
Dustin May, Tommy John, Gonsolin is hurt, David Price is hurt. I mean, those are 3 guys that if they're in your rotation, you're not mad about it. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of their bullpen, I mean, Brewstar Gatterall, Corey Knebel was supposed to be a big guy for them. Alexander and Ferguson, I mean, those guys have thrown some good MLB innings. So it's like
they're MLB arms, and
Injury bugs
even
don't
guys
show.
who aren't on the Mookie's been banged up this year. He missed a few days with I forget what now.
Yeah.
I want to say a shoulder thing.
I mean, so let's talk about the Dodgers' depth a little bit. They still have Mookie, Muncy. Mookie. I heard it.
His name is Mookie.
I heard it. I said Poppy. Oh, my God. Did you see their Instagram?
Oh, which account do I got to look at?
It's A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Poppy's over, and they're just drinking Presidentes and smoking stogies, getting over the breakup. It's like, it's not great, but it is just because it's A-Rod.
Just good stuff.
Like, paying David Ortiz to come over to his house.
Video.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. It's good content. Back to my Dodgers. They still got Mookie, Muncy, Turner, Will Smith, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux. And then, I mean, Matt Beatty, who's been playing pretty well lately, but that's not a guy a lot of people know around baseball and hasn't done too much in the league.
Dodgers fans weren't planning to rely on him.
No, and that's where, I mean, their bench right now is pretty wild. I mean, Austin Barnes, who, rotates in, he's Kershaw's guy. Keibert Ruiz is on the roster right now.
He's like a big prospect for them.
So, I mean, that's
at one point, I assume still is.
kind of exciting, but also a catcher.
22.
Yeah. Pujols, who they just picked up from the DFA'd Angels. Yoshi Susugo, who is
when did that happen?
DFA'd by Tampa. Sheldon Noisy, who they traded for and was a bench player for the Oakland A's that we all got excited about because what did the Dodgers know? And then DJ Peters, who, young guy, but I don't think he's a big-time prospect. So, yeah, I mean, the Dodgers are feeling it a little bit. I think at the same time, like, 4th in starting pitcher ERA, they're number 1 in on-base percentage, 4th in OPS. Their relief pitching, 9th in ERA. Everything else is kind of meh, but they have had a lot of injuries down there. Like, you go through the Dodgers bullpen, and it's kind of... I mean, they're missing a lot of guys. They're missing a lot of guys. Here's some guys. Here's a fun game. Here's guys in the Dodgers bullpen you don't know. Mitch White. He could be in the room with me in BBD. I don't think I'd recognize him.
Yeah, maybe he's a big guy, and I'd have it pegged that he's an athlete, maybe. I'm
sure he's taller than me. I would guess Mitch White's taller than me. Alex Vesia. Don't have the scouting report on him. Like Garrett Clevenger, I've seen the name, but I still don't know. I just found out he was lefty. So, like, there's that. Edwin Useda. Don't have his scouting report. And then, like, Dennis Santana, like, I've seen his name, but I don't really know who that is. So, and yet, at the same time, and Tommy Canley's unfair, but these are guys, the injured bullpen guys. Scott Alexander, I know. Caleb Ferguson, familiar. Bruce Dargatterall, yep. Canley, kind of illegal. Corey Knievel, yep. David Price, yeah. So, like, they have a full bullpen of pitchers hurt.
It looks like with the pitchers, not that it's like atypical, just it's all guys like soft tissue stuff and something kind of like got to just wait out and figured out. Don't want to exacerbate anything.
Ooh, I don't think we can do that
Hammies
live on YouTube.
And lats and
exacerbate. Okay.
Something I it's off topic. Just I'm noticing.
Okay.
Kiebert's only got one option left. So
okay, interesting.
Maybe he's whenever they make their next big thing, whether it's this year, this offseason, trade him with one option year.
Come over to the Yanks.
He said that stuck out to me just looking at the roster resource.
I like it.
And they have 1 million people that other organizations would covet. So
Sure. Let's see. Phil's Girardi Segura fight in the dugout. BBD.
Yeah. Oh, if I'm being honest, I have no idea what happened. I didn't watch.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we're handling it in-house.
Handling it in-house.
I didn't even watch the Girardi quote. I threw it a like because I like Joe.
Fighting Phil's.
Fighting.
Lost to the Blue Jays. I'm watching it now. Looks like Coach Wathan is holding back Gene Segura. Gene looks like he's saying a couple choice words. A couple other guys coming over to set a screen. We've got another player. McCutcheon's kind of involved.
He's just passionate, man.
And that's it. Yeah, you can't teach that. And like you said, Joe Girardi said, that's a bench conversation meant for the bench. You can ask all you want. You got everything you're going to get about it. I'm done with it. Bang. I don't know. Did anything else happen around baseball that was
noteworthy?
Like,
obviously, noteworthy for like this show. It's like stuff we're gonna cover talking baseball right after this.
Coming up in a minute.
Um,
I mean, last
and
step.
Vladdy's hot, but again, that'll get covered. Homered all 3 games against the Phillies.
He looks so good.
Yeah, I was doing the slump watching Fuego stuff on the treadmill this morning, so kind of
Vladito looks so good, which is awesome for the game. I'm excited for him. BBD, let's do basketball, man. The playoffs are here. Our Knicks are studs. Before we do that, let's talk some Cushy Dreams. You guys know. What do we got? Oh, the hustle. We got the pre-rolled hustle here. I might rip this. Last time I smoked in the studio, I did feel a little dumb because there was an odd amount of smoke in the studio, which made so much sense.
We just didn't foresee that.
It made sense. Cushy Dreams, man. Ooh, I'm actually really excited for this. Cushy Dreams, if you guys have no idea, it's CBD. CBD with BBD. It's smokable. It kind of looks like weed, if we're being honest, but it's not. It's 100% legal. All 50 states. We love Cushy Dreams. They've got indica and sativas. Relax, create, hustle, peace, energy, and dream. How about that? I've got it, Kush. Let me go off the script. If you've ever wanted to either relax, create, hustle, dream, have energy, or be peaceful, they've got that. They've got that. Go check out Cushy Dreams. CushyDreams.com. Use code JAKE, people. That's Jake. That's my name. Not Jacob. Not Jacob. Just Jake. 20% off your next purchase. Guys, you guys have been really cool about this. Cushy Dreams has been super happy with us. Everyone that's tried it and reached out has really enjoyed it. And if you haven't tried it, you really should, because this can improve your quality of life. Like, that's why this stuff is so popular. If you've got, like, pain or anxiety or whatever it is, check it out, CushyDreams.com. Yeah, or maybe I saw someone say for Father's Day, yeah, mix it in the Father's Day gift bag. Or maybe just take it out of the Cushy Dreams thing and hide it in, like, your dad's glove compartment. And be like, what the hell? And then rip it and be like, it's CBD. It's Cushy Dreams. We love Cushy Dreams. Promo code Jake, 20% off. All right, BBD, I'm excited for us. I'm excited for you. I mean, you know, you have an argument for biggest NBA guy in JOMBOY media. Probably Keith.
It's a short list. I like to think I'm on that short list.
Don't say short on Wake and Jake. Makes me self-conscious. NBA playoffs are here, man. They did the whole, was it 72 games?
72 games.
72-game season. It got quiet for a while. I think it's about to get loud, and this is what the NBA does so well. So, like we said before, the NBA has now made playoff games for the bottom of their playoff bracket. And if you don't know, I mean, obviously money drives so much in sports. Like, it's become a little problematic how disconnected we've gone from sports. Guys, this is going to bring in so much money, and guess what? It doesn't matter. Like, how many of you have been so locked into an 8 or 7 seed? You know, like, there's a couple years when someone gets hurt on a 1 or 2, so the matchup lines up. There was the Golden State 8 seed that everyone talks about from back in the day.
And I guess these shortened seasons is when stuff's happened. Like the Knicks made the finals as an 8 seed, but it was a strike shortened season, and wasn't Ewing like out half the year or something?
We're going to get some really good entertainment out of this, and it doesn't really affect your team. Like, if the Celtics end up losing or Celtics lose to the Wizards. So they would be knocked out of the playoffs?
So if the Celtics lost to the Wizards, they would then play the winner of the Pacers and the Hornets.
Okay. So the Wizards and Celtics are the 8 and 7 seed. They will play. The winner goes on to the playoffs.
The winner's in.
They'll be the 7.
Yeah, I
that
guess
makes
they
sense,
get to
right?
play. Yeah, they get to just play the Nets. So the Nets play the winner of that game.
It's exciting. So the Indiana Pacers and the Charlotte Hornets are the 9th and the 10th seed. They will play. The winner of that game plays the loser of Wizards Celtics. So we've created 2 basketball games that I guess are fun for these teams and impactful. And, if you are the 7-seed Celtics or 8-seed Wizards, in past years you would have gotten a 4-game set for sure.
If you're the Celtics,
at least 4 games.
Celtics fans have a gripe, I'm sure, because they should have been. I mean, they have a gripe with their team.
Yeah, their gripe shouldn't be with the NBA season.
But in the past year, we've seen LeBron, and I guess he's paying for it now. We've seen LeBron's teams not take the regular season seriously because he knows he can fart his way to being an 8 seed at least. And
is that fart his way?
Yeah. And you get a tournament, and then if you're LeBron's team, you're good. And LeBron's got to play in this now, which.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
And I think he got banged up again.
So, again, trying to keep you guys up in this. Celtics, Wizards, winner, playoffs, loser plays the winner of Hornets, Pacers. Then that next game, the winner of that will be the 8 seed. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I guess it gets a little funky. It's just matchup stuff. if it turns out the 7 and 8 seeds win, but so it looks like the Celtics lose, then they win game 2 and they play the Sixers.
Oh, so they would jump back into the 7, we think?
I don't know.
Okay.
It looks like that doesn't happen, so it's just kind of funky.
That is a little funky. So, hey, we're still learning, and we'll know all the rules soon after we watch it. In the West,
I hope the Celtics get a series because of that, especially with the East, that.
Of those teams,
I just don't want to see the Wizards or Hornets, really.
Well, I think the Wizards thing would be the Wizards could get the Nets, and then it would be Russ.
Yeah, that would
KD,
be.
So that's fun.
That's good stuff. I guess whoever the Nets are gonna wax whoever.
Pacers are just constantly boring. Sorry, Pacers fans.
Yeah.
So the Charlotte Hornets, at least they've got LaMelo, and hopefully he's next, and that's a young team, but. Still not exciting. And these teams are going to get rolled, man. These teams are going to run into the Sixers and the Nets. So, again, if you're a fan base and you're pretending you super care, you kind of don't.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at it. We talk, not like you and I directly, just in general, the sports world talks about bad teams making the NBA playoffs.
Right.
I'm looking at these records of the Eastern Conference teams that made this play-in tournament. Boston's 500. The other teams are 4 games under 500 or more.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
They're not good. They're not good.
So bad.
And they're about to play the 2 top teams in the East. The Sixers, who have been incredible this year, and the Nets, who have the best 3 players ever assembled. So, I
would have liked to, there's a part of, the Pacers aren't good and they're boring, but you just know they're gonna be pesky.
They'll win a game and they'll scare you for another game because they're the Pacers.
They're gonna frustrate whoever they're gonna play against. But
in the West, the storyline, the game that we will all be watching, and it's probably 99% Thursday's game of the night. The Golden State Warriors and the Lakers are playing for a win and in game into the playoffs. And again, think about what this is all about. Money. Steph versus LeBron.
They got to be thrilled they got that matchup.
10 p.m. ESPN. That is...
It's 10 p.m.
That's pay. Yeah, it's going to be a late night. We're going to be up a little later anyways because Texas series.
Yanks should get me to halftime.
And
then I'll lock in for a second half. We're good.
So that's going to be as must-watch as it is. LeBron and AD... for Steph scoring champ Steph Curry, which is a lot of fun. That's kind of must watch, and that's what the NBA is great at. It's what the NBA is great at, and the MLB is figuring out how to be better at, because there's not a ton of must watch. I mean, this is opening play. Like, if there was a wild card game and it was Scherzer versus Giolito, it's still not super sexy. I like both those guys, but
Like, with the Lakers being, they're like still legitimately a finals contender. So,
like, this
because
is,
they have LeBron and AD, so.
So this would be, I'm trying to think of the best baseball comparison. Steph versus LeBron. It's nuts. This would be like Mets and DeGrom versus like Bauer and the Dodgers in a one-game playoff to get in. That's kind of cool. So we'll be watching that, and then the Spurs and the Grizzlies are playing in the the less important.
And whichever Lakers, Warriors, they'll take care of.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
Both of them will get. I'd be very surprised if they didn't both get into the dance.
And wouldn't that be it? Like, again, think about what runs the world and why they built this. Like, if the Lakers and Golden State both end up in the playoffs, but the NBA got 2 primetime games out of it, people are saying the Steph LeBron game is going to be the highest rated game of the playoffs, and they might be right. They might be right. So that's a lot of fun. The rest of the playoff seeding and the playoff, besides these play-in games, we don't get NBA playoffs like till the weekend, right?
Yeah, every other
pretty
team
nuts.
has like a week off essentially.
It's bizarre.
I think they don't start till Saturday.
That's bizarre. Yeah, we've been trying to figure out when the Knicks are going to play because we're excited. We can't fully do it.
Now that they are the 4 seed playing Atlanta and they'll be home that game, they haven't said this, but I think they're going to start the playoffs with that game. That'll be the first one Saturday.
Oh, really?
Like, it just makes sense. There hasn't been a playoff game in the Garden in a decade, almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can
sense.
trick the NBA into telling me when the games are going to be.
And there's going to be like 2 West Coast games that day that presumably will require the later slots.
So the NBA's kind of thought about this. So there's going to be games Tuesday night, the Eastern Conference. There will be games Wednesday night, the Western Conference. And then Thursday is going to be the do-or-die loser game. And then for the Eastern Conference, Friday will be the do-or-die loser game. So they've got a game every night. That's what they were thinking. Makes sense. I get it.
I guess like you stumble into some stuff like it doesn't happen as much in basketball, but like sometimes like the long layoffs will hurt you. But like every team is gonna sit a week, so I'm not like every team's dealing with it.
Same stuff. And if you're a 1 or a 2 seed and you can't beat a team because you rested for a week, then the NBA is like on fire.
If you're
That's not a problem. NBA
if you're
teams
Utah
dream
or
of this now.
Phoenix, and like you might end up facing LeBron, but also like LeBron and his teams like every year benefit the most from days off and extra rest. Every year, like his teams are the number one beneficiary of it. So in that respect, you're not losing anything by him being in rhythm or something.
It's going to be funny, man. So in the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia 76ers get the 1 seed. A team that really hasn't been talked about enough. Like there was a little Embiid MVP hype, and then he got hurt, so it kind of fell out. They're the best team in the East. I mean, the Bucks, for whatever reason, weren't as dominant this year. Like the Bucks had kind of
They've been like the premier regular season team for a bit. And I mean, they
For a
still
couple
were.
years.
They still were the 3 seed in
Yeah.
3 games within the 1.
I guess that's true. Like the Sixers just kept their stayed ahead. The Nets kind of tied them and went ahead once or twice, but
the Bucks basically just like never had it.
and
So-
I think, we've talked about this a little bit, but like Doc Rivers is the new head coach there. They had that other guy with the crazy accent for years. Brett Brown, who a lot of people in NBA circles were like, he's not a good coach. So now they have Doc Rivers, a guy who's one of the most well-respected coaches in the NBA. Daryl Morey. That's the other part of this that kind of goes overlooked. Like, we thought the Sixers were in slash out on trade talks for Harden because Morey had just gone there. But like Daryl Morey, our well-respected NBA front office guy. He basically
contenders
he
for a
basically put together the team that beat Golden State. They just didn't beat Golden State. Joel Embiid having an MVP type season. Ben Simmons is the guy you're going to circle. I think everybody believes in Embiid. Sometimes he looks tired, and that becomes a conversation point. But Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Danny Green's on this team, Seth Curry. 50% attendance at Wells Fargo Arena. That's also the other kind of interesting thing here because every city,
Everybody,
like Brooklyn's
boosted.
still 10%.
Yeah, I know there's some sort of boost coming. I think they're getting up to 50. I think in a lot of them.
They'll get some people in there. The Brooklyn Nets are the 2 seed. Don't need to tell you too much. You're probably familiar. Harden, Irving, Durant. I think Kyrie finished 50, 40, 90, which for a guard his size, it's super impressive. Harden is going to be in the MVP discussion as much as people hate it.
Yeah, I would guess between missing time and the way his trade went down, like he probably
won't.
doesn't get it, but
It'll be like the most
like
impressive top 5 MVP ever.
he was the NBA's best player for most of this season.
So, yeah, I mean, the Nets are going to be a huge storyline. They are, when their offense has clicked, it's been something that's like never been seen on an NBA court. Their defense, I think, is atrocious, but, it's kind of one of the running jokes about the NBA. Like, sometimes these guys can turn it on, and I wouldn't bet against Durant, Kyrie, and Harden turning it on come the postseason. They look good. Go check out Talking Nets. They're excited. And Keith was at Barclays this weekend. One of the games. Saw him
At least
with
one.
Iron Eagle.
I think he
Stock.
I think he would have been. I think it was Saturday because the Yankees were a late game, and that would make sense as a day to go.
And so those 2 teams, we're figuring out who they're gonna play. We just talked about that. We'll see. I mean, both of those teams are pretty safe. Either way, whoever from the East advances. Yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown's out for the Celtics. Like,
Brown's out. They were bad kind of with him.
yeah.
Celtics fans have mostly viewed this as kind of a transitional year, developmental year.
No joke. All right, this is where it kind of gets fun. The Milwaukee Bucks are the 3 seed. You're familiar with these Milwaukee Bucks, plus Drew Holiday. Love Drew Holiday, probably one of the most underrated players in the league. He's really good. And PJ Tucker was added to this team. This felt like the first year that the Bucks were like building for the playoffs, not just the regular season. That being said, they draw the Miami Heat, who eliminated them last year. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Buckets. So, man, they got to be a little nervous. Coach Spoelstra is a really good NBA head coach. He's a really good NBA head coach.
He can, if you don't think he's the best, he's in that top tier, and any given night can outcoach anybody. And
he, man, Budenholzer also a good NBA head coach. People say the Bucks are easier to game plan against in a playoff series because they kind of run the same stuff over and over because it's
the formula.
Giannis, kick out for 3, or like they say if you see that for 7 straight games, you kind of know what's happening. So that'll be interesting. I mean, man, oh man. If Milwaukee gets beat by the Heat,
First round exit would be.
Giannis just signed the extension, right? But
And they just gave up
NBA player,
all their draft capital for Drew Holiday, and
an NBA player wants to leave,
on a big deal.
they usually find a way to leave.
Nobody's not movable.
Look at Harden. But I like the Bucks. I'd love to see them run into one of the top teams.
Yeah,
I mean, in theory,
want an early
the second round should be Nets Bucks, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, Giannis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton versus KD, Harden, and Kyrie. I mean, I think I know what 3 you're taking, but still, like, if there's ever a Giannis Hey, man, I know you're back-to-back MVP and, like, you're a freak and all of that, but whenever you talk best NBA players, nobody mentions Giannis.
Nobody's got him as their
Nobody
number
mentions
one.
Giannis. They say LeBron.
Yeah.
They
LeBron
say
still
KD.
exists, which is tough.
There was the
but-
Kawhi argument for a while. If
Yeah.
you wanted to get crafty and unique, you could say Steph Curry changed the game and all
yeah,
that stuff.
he
No
had
one
back-to-back
says
MVPs
Giannis.
himself.
No one says Giannis. I mean, people say Harden before Giannis. So that could be
Especially this year.
that could be a big thing for him. That's exciting. Bam Adebayo is really good if you don't know. We'll see if Tyler Hero,
He's been a lot better lately. I think he had a mostly
if
bad
he has
year.
another playoff.
But it sounds like he's. I haven't watched a lot of the Heat.
Is he
but
still dating that girl who he like went in her DMs and then I think she had some bad Instagram posts or
maybe
something?
that happened pretty recently? She had a bunch
Wasn't
of
that like the
vaccine
bubble?
stuff.
I'm not seeing a ton of her on his Instagram, so maybe they're on the rocks, maybe they're not. Let's see.
Maybe
Their most
tag
recent post
photos.
was November, so okay. We'll see. BBD, the meat and potatoes. I'm not talking about my albums. The New York Knicks. Your New York Knicks. New episode, Talking Knicks. Out. The boys got it. We'll be cranking some content from there. Should probably make a YouTube.
midweek preview. Yeah, probably should. We have the video most of the time.
Yeah. Let's do that this week.
Yeah,
Be a good week
make
to
it.
start it, huh? Playoffs. Let's do that. Let's make a conscious effort. We can do it. Talking Knicks YouTube. Go check it out. Knicks are playing the Atlanta Hawks with home court in the playoffs. They are the 4 seed. It does bring a genuine smile to my face because, again, whenever the Knicks get mentioned, it doesn't get mentioned in that light, man. I mean, my goodness. They've had a miracle season. You've heard us rave about it on here. Julius Randle, you've heard us talk about that. Coach Tom Thibodeau, you've heard us talk about that. Derrick Rose, you haven't heard us talk too much about. He's been awesome.
Gonna get.
He's looked really good.
Gonna be a top 5, 6 man
gonna
of the
play.
year guy.
He's going to play a lot in these playoffs. Knicks fans are hoping a
He
ton.
plays a lot.
Hoping a ton. Nerlens Noel. Holy smokes. He's been incredible.
The Knicks have missed Mitchell Robinson for most of the season, and he's had a great year. Been one of the best players on the team, and you don't realize he's out.
Yeah.
That's how impressive the way Nerlens Noel has stepped in.
And it's tough.
And everyone who's played the center position, Taj has been really good
Yeah.
filling in Noel's role, and Norvell Pell and his 20 minutes he's played as a Knick.
Yeah,
We're all
man.
fine.
It's a weird thing for Mitch Rob because it's like the whole argument. Like, how valuable can that position be if you can go get
Usually you
Nerlens
can
Noel?
go get a bargain.
But that's for another time. Reggie Bullock's been really good for the Knicks. R.J. Barrett has been really good. Interested to see what he looks like in playoff basketball because he
I'm
is
excited
physical.
to see him get that chance.
Um,
And this year he's been such a second half moment guy.
he shot 40% from 3, which you wouldn't expect from R.J. Barrett,
And
especially
he had an 0 for 24 stretch early in the year
Right.
that he dug himself out of 40% from
Take
three.
that out. The Knicks defense has been electric this year. I've heard some really smart NBA people say that, who was I listening to? Chris. He does ringer stuff. He's bald. He's a Sixers fan. Chris. He does Game of Thrones stuff, or he used to.
There's a couple Chris's over there, I think.
Bad hints by me. He was saying that there's people in the NBA that talk about the Knicks defense the way people used to talk about Golden State's offense, if that makes sense. And they said it's very Tibbs, forward-thinking, futuristic, great energy. And they'll be playing the Atlanta Hawks, which, man, I forgot this. They fired their coach. They were 14-20. They fired their head coach, Lloyd Pierce.
I think McMillan stepped in.
Nate
right?
McMillan. They've 27-11 under Nate McMillan, who another guy that's really well liked in NBA circles. Bogdan Bogdanovich has been good for them. 18 points per game since the coaching change. Trae Young, he got a lot of hate. But he was padding stats with a bad team, but also they asked him to do that. So, don't be mad about it. Was kind of my argument at the time. And the Luka stuff, I get it, blah, blah, blah.
See if it works in a playoff series.
Yeah, man, they're funny. I was looking at because I was getting excited for the Knicks series. I was like, what's really going on here? It's nuts, man. Kevin Huerter plays the second most minutes per game on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I this is stealing a stat from
I think
tweeted Macri. He he pointed out since Nate McMillan took over, I believe there's a foursome on the Hawks. It's Trae, Huerter, Capella. On who the fourth guy is. And you can probably just look at who plays the most minutes and figure it out. But that foursome has the second best plus minus or whatever of any foursome in the league that's played over 100 minutes. They played 200 minutes.
I like
it's
that.
The number one is one of the Jazz lineups because they're the most efficient team ever or something. But nobody's picking the Jazz. But
yeah, I can't believe
there's there's an element of all right, the Knicks. We kind of for sure wanted to get the Hawks. Plus that meant we got home court in the first round. That was kind of the only way that was going to shake out. But and the Knicks have taken care of business against the Hawks. But they are a good, dynamic team. Well, Nate McMillan's a good coach.
DeAndre Hunter's back. Look at that. Dan Monaco.
There's an argument for if people. There's some deep cut basketball people that said they would have preferred getting the Heat in the first round, which
and
you can make the argument for it. It's if you're gonna lose, if you're gonna
what?
potentially lose in the first round anyway, because both of those teams are they can beat you.
At the same time, man, I get it, and I've referenced it a couple times. NBA circles, people think this, blah blah blah. If the Heat go out and they win the first game, and Bam looks nasty, and Jimmy Butler looks nasty, and Tyler Hero makes shots, everyone's gonna be. You don't want to play that team, so. That's tough. I see Dan Monaco in the chat, old friend from CCSU, my man. Appreciate you. Chris Ryan is the guy from The Ringer that I was blanking on. Does some Sixers, big Sixers fan for them, and Game of Thrones. So that's the East for now. Let's do the West quick, BBD, because we're still gonna have a lot of time to talk about this, Thursday.
That's only when we're previewing the series. We know who the 1s and 2s are playing.
Yeah, so I guess we can skip back past those. That'll be easier. Yeah. The Jazz are the 1 seed. Again, kudos to the Jazz. Who? Not a lot of people had that coming into the season. 52-20. They're really good. And then the Phoenix Suns are the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would love if those teams met up for 7, but it just doesn't feel like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nobody really believes in those teams.
One of the LA teams or Denver to poke through to at least the Western Finals.
So we'll talk about whatever matchup those teams get. Like we talked about, I mean, one of them is probably going to get the Lakers. One of them is probably going to get Golden State, but we'll see. We'll let that come.
Tough reward for your great season.
Oh my God, insane, man, insane.
They'd rather play, I think, any of those other 4 teams left that we're about to discuss.
God. The 3 seed, my Denver Nuggets, still exciting. I mean, and they have Aaron Gordon. People forget about that.
Jokic is the MVP favorite now, I think.
Jokic should win the MVP. People are saying Michael Porter Jr. Is legit. They don't have Jamal Murray. He tore his ACL, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Would have liked to see these Nuggets at full strength. Jamal Murray's a guy that can win you playoff games. Not even...
He took over a couple bubble games.
Not like a funky bench piece that gets hot and can help you win a playoff game. Jamal Murray
does it once.
He can drop 40. He can. Jamal Murray's a stud, so they're missing him.
He can be your engine through a series.
They're missing him. Monty Morris and Will Barton have also missed some time, but the Nuggets, top 3 seed. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like the Nuggets. Hopefully Jokic steals the show and goes nuts. and they're playing Portland, which, man, speaking of guys that win playoff games,
Take over.
holy crap, that's tough. The West is nuts, man. I wouldn't want to face the Trailblazers.
No.
I mean, they were without Nurkic and McCollum for a while, so it was a lot of Dame.
We've seen Dame just do it in the playoffs before.
Yeah.
Melo's had a good year.
Melo's still a bucket. Melo's still a bucket.
There's not like a break in that group. And we talked about, like, during the offseason, like, like people still aren't going to consider them a contender or anything, but, like, the Blazers, like, patched up the holes in their team better than anybody this offseason. And
They have Covington, too.
Rocco.
See over there? Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And then the West is awesome, man. The 4-5 is Clippers, Mavs, which we'll see how special Luka can be. The Mavs really turned it on at a certain point this season. I think they had some COVID stuff. They've had the NBA's 5th best winning percentage since, like, their COVID stuff went on. Luka's gross. It's hometown role players, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith. I read that off a sheet. I don't feel great about that. Yeah. But Kristaps is playing. I know he was banged up, but it looks like he's playing.
I think he's been playing pretty well lately. Obviously, Luka's the story there, but...
Yeah, I guess their pick and roll has been effective, says this article. I don't know. The Clippers are gross, and obviously they've given Kawhi time off. That's how you treat Kawhi. That's the deal. Paul George, they're like the best. I think they're like the best three-point shooting team ever. I think they have 6 guys that shoot 40% or higher.
Feels like something.
Playoff P. We'll see if that comes out in droves. Oh, God.
Yeah, as a team, they've shot 41% from 3. They make 14 a night from 3.
Kawhi and Paul George guarding Luka is a lot of fun.
Marcus Morris is... that's surprisingly good. He's played 29 games this year. Is he around?
A bucket.
47% from 3 this year. They have a bunch of guys.
Marcus Morris just makes shots, huh?
They've got like 10 dudes who shoot 40% that I think are on their team for real. No, one of them's Amir Coffey, so that's not a real person for them. Okay, there's some fake numbers in there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And Kawhi's 39.8%.
How about this? And this is stolen from ESPN. Vincent Johnson. Shout out. Leonard and George are both healthy going in the playoffs, and that combination has dominated in 43 games played together. So, again, that's normally like half an NBA season. But for this season, it's not bad compared to the Nets. The All-Star duo ranked first in offensive rating and true shooting percentage of all the two-man lineups. So, how good is your good? The Clippers are up there. And, I mean...
They're a team built for the playoffs. And
God. The West is going to be brutal. Whatever team comes out this year, holy smokes.
They had to go through it. What was I...
Like, if you have to go through... I don't even know, man.
Forgot Boogie's on the Clippers.
So let's say if the Suns get the Lakers are the 7. So then you play the winner. Okay, so you get the winner of Nuggets Blazers, which that actually feels kind of softer. So let's do the 1 seed. So if you're the
one, you're gonna get.
If
the
you're
Lakers
the Jazz,
or
we think you're getting the Lakers or Golden State.
It would be shocking if you don't.
Even if it's Golden State, Steph Curry, who won the scoring title, and they're
he's gonna get some MVP.
Finishing off a dynasty. Blah blah blah. Okay, so then you get the winner of the 4-5. Okay, there's the Clippers or Luka Doncic. If it's the Clippers, it's Kawhi and Paul George. One of the best NBA duos. It's like, if you put them on paper and did all-time NBA duos.
Like two-way duos.
Like, are they a potential, like, top 10 NBA duo all-time? Jordan Pippen, like Shaq Kobe, Shaq D. Wade. Maybe it's a hot take. I'd have to look. Like LeBron, D Wade. So maybe top 10 is tight. But
you could, I think, by the end of whatever this ends up being, there will be an argument for them, especially with like analytics stuff and
two of the best wings ever, like Jordan Pippen and then LeBron Wade and either way. And so if you win that, then let's say you get the 2 seed, or if you run into the Lakers. The West is a gauntlet. I don't know, BBD. Any final notes? There's a lot of NBA. Yeah. People weren't ready for that.
Nah, I think we're coming up against it.
Yeah, we got to start getting ready for talking baseball coming up live in a little bit. Thanks everybody. I know we do have a lot of baseball fans, but that was good. I hope that cleared up some NBA stuff for you. And the playoffs are going to be next month and a half. I mean, they're going to dominate the sports cycle. As well they should, man. The NBA has stars, and these games are going to be awesome. They really are. BBD, this brings us to the comment of the day. Comment of the day, I asked you guys to bake the algorithm. What that means, like, leave a comment, something sports related, something silly related. I saw a couple I like. B. Skrills, who's always in the chat. It was a great day for sports in Cleveland yesterday. Okay, like interested. So this was 3 days ago. Cubs swept the Cavaliers. They get a win over Boston, and the Browns schedule came out.
Great day.
Okay. So huge. So excited for that. Michael V, who's often around, loved my Montreal, Quebec story. Said he's got a few like that. Keep up the great work, Jake and BBD. So that's cute. Matt Hagerty. Billy Hamilton has led the league in one offensive stat in his career, caught stealing in 2014. Tough for Billy Hamilton. Had some comments of our Hall of Fame, Hall of Very Good, perennial All-Star. We think we're going to turn that into an episode at some point. We're, I guess we'll fill in the Bakers a little bit. We're going to start messing around with the second episode a little bit. It's not going to be as much sports recap-y.
Yeah.
We might find a topic and go with it. Like doing
pre-record some stuff for Thursdays sometimes, get funky.
Yeah, do some MLB Hall of Fame versus Hall of Very Good. Do some topics, maybe have a guest or two. So we'll start messing around with that. We'll let you in the know. This week we're good. I mean,
this week it won't be that. I think we're going to go normal time.
Thursday normal. Maybe we'll mess around with the topic a little bit. But, we've got some friends in sports now, and we can do some funky sports topics and not the Reds won 6-2. Jesse Wink FMVP.
Got some good just looking at view counts briefly when we went off time and did kind of a funky ep Thursday, and we broke a G again.
Sorry about it. Wow, hour 8. Dang, we're probably getting close. So guys, thank you for leaving your comments. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Something sports, something fun, something beautiful, something you want to talk about. Maybe a topic, maybe a sports topic. Maybe we'll bring in a third, start doing some drafts in here. We'll see. The JJR people love them.
I was thinking maybe there's something after we do we'll at some point do a big Hall of Nice segment, but maybe we start doing once a month we induct somebody into the Hall of Nice.
Hall of Nice. Maybe we'll make our own. Maybe we'll buy a building in the Bronx. We'll put up a sign.
Transcend sports.
Maybe
everybody.
We're getting a little bit more office space. Maybe we'll just hang up a picture of them every week. It's kind of fun. I like that. Thank you, guys. Keep baking the algorithm. Share with a friend. Subscribe to the YouTube. I think we're up to 225?
Yeah.
223? 223. So next is 3K, 10K, million. You guys are the best. Bro of the Night, BBD. Bro of the Night is an award. If you're not familiar, goes out to someone who did something special, stood out, deserved the award. BBD, per usual, you have yours written in here, so I'll let you go.
Jay, the Bro of the Night, sometimes just a guy who deserves a little shout out for just doing something noteworthy. Sometimes it does require being the story of sport. I'm giving it to Eric Fetty.
Fetty Wap.
I was filling out some of the Talking Baseball doc, and I was trying to figure out some standout performance stuff. And he's a little shy there. He is on the list. I nominated him, but he faced your D-backs yesterday.
Yeah.
Turned in a nice six inning performance. I'm blanking on the full line.
Sure.
But yeah, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. Nats got a 3-0 win. Just a good performance against the lineup that a lot of guys that have been banging this year. Some hitters there, man. I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah, Eduardo Escobar, 7 RBI game over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Fetty, good for him.
Poppies.
I said Poppy. Denilson Lamet back yesterday. It's a good one, BBD. I'll go, you know what? As an NBA episode, I'm giving it to Steph Curry. I mentioned it a couple times. He won the scoring title. Oldest scoring champion. Like, we kind of forget this. Like, NBA age, Steph Curry's starting to get there, by the way. Oldest scoring champion since Jordan at age 35 and 98.
Steph's 33.
Put up a casual 46 just to do it, just to win the scoring title. We've seen this, and by the way, they won. It's not like he was just getting buckets in a loss.
Yeah,
like
they weren't meaningless buckets.
No.
And they've been kind of playing playoff games for a month.
Like
They've needed to win games.
He goes 9 of 22 from 3, and it's not a story. Because that's just what he does. He's a freak, man. He this season, when people do NBA arguments, which NBA is also great about, talking about different years and who was good and who stood out, and actually this year was more special. Man, look at some of the guys Golden State rolls out there. I mean, Kevon Looney, 31 minutes. Bazemore, 27 minutes. Toscano Anderson, 27 minutes. Poole, 25 minutes. M. Mulder? I haven't seen that in a box score since Mark Mulder. It's Michael Mulder with a Y. Mychal. This Steph Curry season, I think people are going to use this season for a while to argue about how truly good he is. He finishes the season 32 points, 5.8 assists, 5.5 rebounds, 42% for 3 on just crazy attempts. He's 36.8 points per game in his last 10. Curry's awesome, man. Curry's awesome. I love him. You should love him too. Everybody kind of does. Does anybody hate Steph Curry now?
How can ya?
If you do,
and when they were peak powers,
right? I kind of got
some,
that.
He was as big a
joined.
complainer to the refs as anybody, and the KD stuff.
He started doing. He does silly stuff on the court a lot. He does small guy stuff, which I like. All right, that's the bro of the night. Eric Fetty, Steph Curry. What we're watching, we'll watch the play-in. I told everyone's watching Wednesday. Lakers, Golden State. We're watching baseball. We love baseball. I think it's only baseball tonight, so go watch it. I'll give you one pitching matchup before we go. MLB scores. Monday, the 17th.
Mets Braves are playing. Mets are hot. Braves still trying to put it together, I think. And
Taijuan Walker versus
Fried.
I'll let people watch that. How about this? Mad Bum versus Walker Buehler late night. That's fun.
That's a good late
The
night
kid
fun.
versus the old man. John Gray versus Darvish. Ooh. Take a nap. Stay up late tonight. Watch some baseball.
Mad Bum's on a nice run of
Actually
pitching.
nice.
Not a joke.
Actually nice. All right, people, we got to wrap up. We got so much. I mentioned talking Knicks. I mentioned talking Nets. They're excited for the playoffs. Talking Yanks. We're rolling. Talking Yanks curse. We got to break that this week. Yanks love losing on recording day. Nicholas Driscoll, NHL playoffs. I mentioned it at the beginning. I saw Boston played Washington on a TV somewhere. Talking baseball coming up next. Laughs from the past. I see that on there. Go check out the last season. New Chris Rose rotation. Guys, JOMBOY Media. Check out some breakdowns. Check out some breakdowns. Garrett Cole for the Yanks. Mansplain. Pinstripe Strong. Cruz Jomboy Media. Don't do any work today. J. Cole got buckets this weekend. And new seating. I love all you.